Hey guys, it's Sabrina. So today I'm here to do a quick book tag. I saw a lot of booktubers doing this and I was actually tagged by someone, so I just wanted to go ahead and do this because I thought it sounded pretty interesting, and a lot of my subscribers have been asking me some of these questions, so I thought that it would be nice to answer these questions at the same time. So this is the crazy book buying obsession tag, and as you guys can tell from my number of hauls in the past 27 days, I have a problem buying books. So question number 1 is, do you have an obsession buying books? Yes I do. It's a pretty bad obsession, but I'll get into why it's so crazy later on. Question number 2 is 3 different parts. It says, when, where, and how often do you buy your books? So I'll start with when. When do I buy my books? I typically buy them once or twice a week, depending. If new books come out on Tuesday, I will buy the new releases on Tuesday, and if there's other books that I wanted to get that week, that I either saw on Goodreads that I wanted to get or any other place or just in my mind, I wait until Thursday when I get paid, so that way I don't feel so guilty because I know I have extra money to blow. Where do I buy my books? I buy my books mostly from Barnes & Noble. I have a Nook color, and I do have some ebooks on there. I have purchased probably 100 ebooks on my Nook color, but a lot of them I have repurchased into physical copies of books. So I shop at Barnes & Noble bookstore, I shop on barnesandnoble.com, and I've also gotten a few books off Amazon, but I am a member at Barnes & Noble, so I like to take advantage of the expedited free shipping for all of their members. But I do purchase off Amazon sometimes, but I just found out the $3.99 like shipping, and then you have to pay shipping on top of that for other books and stuff. It's just kind of a hassle. If it's, if it doesn't add up equally, then it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. How often do you buy your books? Like I said, once or twice a week. Most of the time it's twice a week on Tuesdays and on Thursdays. The next question is, do you go with anyone else or just by yourself when you buy books? I primarily go by myself. My best friend, she enjoys reading books as well, but she lives 3 hours away from me. We went to college together, but now we've both graduated, so we live in different parts of New York. So like I said, she lives 3 hours away from me, so when we do visit each other, whether I go see her there or she goes to see me here, we do go to the bookstore together, but primarily I go by myself. Not a lot of my friends are as into reading as I am. Not the ones that I grew up with that live around me, but the ones that I went to college with are into books, but they just don't live by me. Sometimes my husband does go with me, though. He's very supportive. What kind of things attract you to books when browsing them? So, I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but definitely covers and spines attract me when I'm in the store, and then I read the synopsis to see if I'm interested, obviously. But I have the Goodreads app on my iPhone, so here it is right here. Can you see that? You kind of can't really see it, sorry. I have it on my phone, so if I'm out, I just look up the book really quick on Goodreads to see what kind of reviews it got. But if I'm ordering online, in my own computer, I check my Goodreads account online, and I always do research before I buy books, unless it's something that I really, really think I'm going to enjoy. But most of the time I check Goodreads to see what everyone else has to say about it, what kind of ratings are on that, to see if it's even worth me spending my money, especially because I really enjoy getting hardcover books. So if I'm going to spend that extra, $10, then I want it to be good. Is there a specific genre of books that you automatically go and look at? Yes, I always go to young adult first, and I always check out the bestseller section, and then I kind of work my way around. I don't really just stick to one genre because I love all genres of books. So I go to young adult, check out the bestsellers, and then I go all the way around looking through young adult. I do look at the adult bestsellers. I do look at some historical fictions. I look at contemporary adult. I mostly go to young adult, but I always am willing to check out other things. It just depends on how much time I have in the bookstore and who I'm with, if I'm by myself, and stuff like that. Okay, so do you prefer to buy new, used, or a mixture of both? I prefer to buy new books. I don't think I own a single used book on my bookshelf. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just I like having something that's mine. I was the first person to own it, and I kind of am a germaphobe with some things, and like owning things that people have previously owned sometimes creeps me out. But when I was in college, I did purchase used textbooks, and then I would sell them back out again. So when I was in college, I probably would have bought a whole bunch of used books, but I worked 2 jobs in college, and I was married for my last year of college, so I also had my husband's income, so I could pretty much afford to purchase books. But when I was in college, I did purchase them on my Nook, like 99% of the time, just because it was so much cheaper. And at my house, at school, I only had one small bookshelf, so those are pretty much filled. So I just wanted to save the money and the space in my room by buying them on my e-reader. But like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with buying used books. When I was younger, I did used to get books from the library, but just something that I would like to own, to have in my personal collection, I would like it to be new. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with used books. If you can get your hands on a book any way, shape, or form, if it's cheaper, good for you. If it doesn't bother you that it was used, that's amazing for everybody else. But I have a slight germophobia, and it just kind of creeps me out sometimes. Okay, how much are you willing to spend on books each month? So when I was in college, I would probably only spend about $50 a month on books, not including school books, but just my own personal leisure books. Now that I'm out of college and I have my own professional job, and my husband does as well, I spend a little too much on books. Especially since I've been out of school, I have been wanting to update my collection, and now that I have the means to do so, I've been going a little crazy. On Black Friday, I went to Barnes & Noble and spent like $200 in one day. So, I mean, it kind of varies for me. I probably spend about $100 a week on books, but that has only been for the last 3 months. But before then, I probably only spent about $200 a month on books. It fluctuates depending on, like right now, a whole bunch of new releases are coming out of sequels that I really want, and I'm also kind of playing catch up on the books that I didn't get for Christmas that I wanted. So it just really depends. Like I said, right now I probably spend about $100 a week. And in December, when I did spend a couple $100 a month, it was because I did have gift cards and stuff like that. So I would definitely say I spend at least $100 a week, so about $400 a month, which is, no, it's completely ridiculous. So starting in February, I completely vowed to only spend like $150 in books a month. Hopefully I keep up with that. But because I do like to buy new books, I think that's why it's so expensive. It's not that I'm buying so many books, it's just that all of these books are really expensive because I like to get hardcover and I like to have them brand new. So have you ever gone on any book buying bans? I didn't go on book buying bans, but like I said, when I was in college, I didn't really allow myself to buy physical books. I wanted to buy ebooks just to save money that way, because sometimes a book would be $2.99 on my Nook instead of $17.99 with the physical book. And to me at the time, when I had to pay for everything on my own and I didn't have a professional job, I just had 2 minimum wage jobs and bills to pay, it was worth it to me to just to be able to read it, to just read it on my Nook. How long does it take you to get around reading recently bought books? This is very subjective and depends on a lot of things. For example, I just purchased Warm Bodies and I wanted to read it before the movie comes out, which comes out this Friday. I just got it in the mail yesterday and I started it yesterday. So, I mean, it just really depends, but sometimes I'll go a month or more without reading a book, probably more. But it really depends, and especially if a series is ending and the book just came out, I'm going to pretty much stop everything else just to read the new series ending, and if a new release comes out that I'm really excited about, I'll put that at the head of my pile. If I get a good recommendation from you guys, the same thing will happen. So it really depends on what I'm reading at the time and what books are coming out around that time. Do you prefer to buy a lot of shorter, cheaper books or just a few longer and more expensive ones? I don't buy books based on price or on length. I buy a book based on my interest in the book. If I'm getting an adult fiction book that's like $25, I'll try to wait until it's either more affordable, as in it goes on sale on Barnes & Noble for a little bit cheaper, or potentially I'll wait for a paperback, but most of the time I just go out and buy it. But I do hesitate with books that are more than $20, because that's kind of a lot of money to me. So I don't mind buying 3 books for, $40, but I do mind buying 1 book that's like $30. I don't know. I know that doesn't make too much sense because I'm spending almost the same money, but to me, I'm like, oh, I'm getting 3 books for the price of 1. So I don't really buy books based on the price. I definitely don't buy books based on the size or the length of the book. That doesn't really matter to me at all. If I want to read it, I want to read it. So yeah, the next question and last question is, anything else you want to say about these awesome obsessions? I do want to say that, again, while I am young, I am a professional. I do work in the law field. I do have a 4-year degree. I actually have 2, so I know that I do spend a lot of money on books, and I don't want this to deter anybody or anyone to think that I'm bragging or for this to turn away any of my subscribers. I have been where all of you have been. I'm 21 years old. I'm still very young. I know what it's like to have to buy things that are used, and I couldn't afford, brand new textbooks at the time. I know what that's like, and I know what it's like to try to make ends meet and to have to pay bills, but I just want you guys to understand that I am a professional, and so is my husband, and I have 2 incomes. And we do live on our own, and we pay all of our own bills, but I also do work a second job, and my second job is the job that I've had since I was 15, and all of my childhood friends still work there. So I just kind of keep that job for like 4 days a week. After my professional job during the day, I work my other job at night just to have my extra spending money. Honestly, that second job is just like my book buying money. So please, I don't want anyone to take offense or anyone to think that I'm bragging in any way, shape, or form on how many books that I have or how much money I spend. My husband came from a very, very poor family, and I know that I'm a very privileged person to be able to purchase books like this, and this is why I try to host giveaways to give back to people who are younger than me and don't have a professional job, or to anyone out there who doesn't make anywhere near as much money to be able to purchase the books that they want to read. So please, I hope that anyone doesn't take this the wrong way. I really, really love all of you guys and appreciate all of your support, and we're all here for the same reason, because we love books. So I hope you guys stick around with me and that no one takes offense to this, because I'm really, really not trying to offend anyone or to brag in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, I should have up the review of The Essence coming up soon. I just finished it like 2 days ago, which is the sequel to The Pledge. So if you guys are interested in that, please look for that in the coming days. Alright guys, I'll see you later. Bye.